What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Drop Mine. My name is Steve, and today, well, we're gonna piece pretty much as we can of the front end together. Check it out. So basically, in a nutshell, what's going on right now, I am gonna mock up the intercooler kit. Basically, as much as I have, I'm gonna mock everything up, like the lights, the intercooler kit, basically the front end. Mind you, the tranny's not in yet, because I still need to make a lot of way for the transmission. I gotta pretty much bang out the tunnel and whatnot, and that I need help. But as of right now, by myself. So I'm doing as much as I can by myself until I get some help. So remember, it's in the grass. It's hard for me to do it by myself. If it was in concrete, it would have been easy as hell, but I mean, it is what it is. So let's mock up the whole front end. Put the intercooler kit on, make sure the lights are all good. They're just kind of on, sort of on. So we're gonna bolt everything together and let's see how it comes out. I do know I need to cut this crash bar to fit up the intercooler, because I do want to have as much of the crash bar as possible. Obviously, just in case of a crash. So I mean, I don't know what else to do. Let's just start doing shit. So you already know. Alright, so I got more or less the front end off. I'm going to tighten up these bolts over here. Just tighten up, they're all rusty and stuff. I need to replace them, but I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the front support bracket together. I'm going to tighten all that up. After I tighten that up, I'm going to tighten up the lights. If you notice, they're not really on. They're like kind of on. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything together, put in the intercooler. Then I'm going to check to see where I need to cut over here. I'm going to mock up the intercooler, put this on top of it, see where it needs to be cut, take it out, cut it up, make it fit. You guys already know. All right, just going to the basket of goodies. All right, so this is the intercooler from CX Racing. This is a little bracket that comes with it. That right there is the other two brackets. Essentially, this just kind of comes down this way. The bottom two bolts grab on there. This bracket right here kind of goes against these Johnnies right there, but eventually I'm gonna have to probably like drill out that hole a little bigger to go ahead and fit these bad boys in. And then once that is on, I could go ahead and put the intercooler on and then the brace. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So first things first, we need to make some holes. So get some holes about this size, give or take. Obviously, let me take out the washer. Some holes, give or take this size, which I'm gonna get my drill bit measured out, figure out what size it is. Drill these out, get it done. So I've been getting a little ahead of myself. Actually, before I forget, I actually need to put one bolt onto the motor mount that I forgot to put on. So basically, for me to drill that, I need to go ahead and take out the bracket out because I'm far from a plug and I have a corded drill. So I'm gonna take this dismantle. This is 4 bolts and take out the lights, and then I'll drill the holes, bring it back, level out the motor again, and you guys already know. So went ahead, made the holes. As you see, they're bigger than normal. Now my bolt literally threads in there, so I'm gonna give it a little extra security. Gives me a peace of mind. Bam. All right, so now that that's done, let's go ahead and tackle straightening out the motor and then putting all this back together. So let's do that now. All right, so I went ahead, got the engine all leveled out. So basically, let me show you exactly the motor mounts and stuff to see more or less how I did it, okay? All right, so excuse the rusty bolts, but remember, this has been like a 2-year project. I'm gonna replace all that stuff sooner than later, but there you go. We have it. The 2 bolts right there and right there holding the motor mount. Then there's the one to the plate, which I'm not sure if you can see it, but the plate, you can kind of see the motor mount there, and then you see something that's hooked on too. And on the other side, basically the same thing. You see there, that bolt that's literally right here. And then there's another one inside the actual motor mount this way. So they're all bolted up, ready to go. As you see, I'll pull this back. Actually, let me do that now. So I can push this out of the way, You see, it's nice and level. It's not cocked or crooked. I put a level to it, so basically even. Well, as even I could get as right now. So in a nutshell, let's go ahead and put this front end together. So go ahead and mock up the intercooler. So let's do that now. All right, so let me just put you on the time lapse, and we'll get to it. So now that the crash bar is in, if you notice, the other thing we need to do really, there's a little gap here and a little gap here, and it's touching just a hair. We're gonna bring it in as much as we can. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna notch right here and right here to get this to fit, because I want to keep the entire crash bar, because just in case we get in an accident, I do want it to absorb the impact as much as possible. We're trying to keep the 2J intact here. So let's do that. I'm gonna notch this and that side, and then after that we're gonna go ahead and test fit the bumper. After we test fit the bumper, we're gonna go ahead and put the intercooler piping on, make sure it looks, see if it looks like a car when we're done, so let's go from there. All right, so it is a new day. Basically what is going on right now is we gotta mount up the intercooler piping. So this is more or less what I got here. Basically this is more or less the orientation I think it needs to go in. Basically the intercooler being right here in the middle. This would be the bottom portions. This coupler goes here, fatter coupler to a slightly thinner. I don't know that diameter or inches or whatever the case may be. Then we got our small bend that I believe goes to the intake manifold, and then this which goes to the exhaust outlet, I think it's called, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know, man. This looks a little on the small side to fit. This big old gaping hole here, so I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's gonna fit, or it's gonna be an extremely tight fit. So I don't know, man. So let's get to it. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my couplers. Like I said, this is the side. Obviously the blow off valve goes here. I believe this sucker goes kind of sideways, kind of sort of like that, more or less. I'm not 100% sure. I got to put it together, but I think it goes like this. And then this bad boy kind of, let me shimmy him in here, kind of does one of these. You guys see what I'm talking about here? So let me put this together, and it looks about right. You know what I mean? Looks like it's going to the manifold, the intercooler, but it's a little off. But there's still a lot of play here. I haven't tightened everything up, so let's get to that. All right, so like I said, I went ahead and put up the top piece. It's not on all the way. It more or less lines up. Obviously this sucker needs to go in more. As you can tell, it's disaligned, and I think I need to kind of tilt this up, but I got to make sure it doesn't hit any of the walls. So let me get tackling on that now. And I might put in the bottom coupler. Like I said, it's a slightly bigger one, because obviously the diameter of here is bigger than the diameter of there. So I need that slightly off one that has a bigger size here, and then the outlet is going to be the right size. So let me go ahead and start doing that. Yeah. Alright, so as you can see, I got it all mocked up. I even put in the headlight just to make sure there's no clearance issues, which if you see, there's plenty of clearance. And if there's not really hitting anything, let's see if I can get this in there. It's not hitting anything down here. Lines up with the intercooler perfect, no issues whatsoever. So the CX Racing kit so far has been, I ain't gonna lie, pretty darn good. Let me put up the other side, which is just this pipe right here and these two couplers, and then we should be ready to go. Which like I said, I'm a little skeptical about this coupler and that hole, because they seem they won't fit. But let me just double check it. Let me jump in there now. All right, so got the intercooler mocked up, all that stuff. This piping, like I said earlier, obviously does not fit. The diameter here is a little bit too big for this one right here. I tried stretching it, all kinds of other things. Nothing really worked out in my favor per se. But clearance wise, this is the headlight right here. We got it in. We completely clear the headlight right into that groove. There's not touching anything. Obviously it's not connected correctly, but it feels where it's supposed to be. It's not touching anything. Maybe a little bit here that I could shave off or whatever the case may be, but not much, very, very little. So overall, the kit, fitting of the kit is actually really good, believe it or not. It's just the issue I'm having with the coupler. I haven't put in the little ties to hold them together, but so far, this is basically what we got. So we got more or less the intercooler mocked up and ready to go. So the only thing left to do now is put on the bumper cover, and see what else I could throw in together to make it look like a car again. So there you go. Alright, I went ahead and threw on just about the whole front end together just to see what it looked like, and so far, man, it's looking pretty good. Obviously, I need to paint these little corner pieces because my car did get broken into and they did steal my lights, unfortunately. But it's going to be back to where it was before they stole it. So, like I said, went ahead and put these on. They need to be painted, but they're on just to be mocked up to make sure they fit everything, you know, fits properly. The only thing left to do now, if you can't see here, we got to slap on the blow-off valve. So we got more or less this done. Like I said, the CX Racing kit fits pretty damn good. The only thing is the piping on, let's see if I get my finger there, on that side doesn't fit good with the coupler, so I got to see what's up with that. Let's go ahead and put this blow-off valve in now. Alright, so got the blow-off valve installed. Everything's looking pretty darn good if you ask me. We got the whole car sitting here looking minty fresh. I ain't gonna lie, I really like the way this is coming out. I like the way it's coming out a lot. Obviously right now this is the twin turbo setup. This is not the single turbo setup. So this is probably gonna be something I'm gonna be doing in the meanwhile. I know I should be going single turbo, but there's a bunch of life stuff that's happening that I need to take care of, so we're taking care of that. So yeah. Let me see what else needs to be done. If not, I think, you know, actually, I think that's just about it. I mean, in a nutshell, we, last video, which I'm going to put a link here, we installed the motor. This video, we went ahead and mocked up the intercooler piping, the intercooler, the front bumper support, the headlights, the headlight bottom piece cover, trim, whatever you want to call it. So basically, it looks like a whole car, man. It's a full car. Like literally, it's an entire. Well, not really. It's missing a transmission, but it's just about an entire car. Right? It's kind of an entire car. So, I mean, with that being said, man, I do appreciate you guys, man. I really do. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. Just make sure to like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned to the channel, man. I'm gonna finish this thing, I promise you. I'm going to finish this thing. There's not gonna be no 2-year hiatus like last time, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna finish this thing. So like I said, with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys so much, for real. I really do mean that. And just hit the subscribe button for me, just so you could get tuned into what's going on with the 2J E46. So with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned to the channel, man. You guys already know what it is. Drive Miami. Peace.